The 2026 USS Zumwalt DDG-1000 continues to stand as one of the most advanced and futuristic warships ever built for the United States Navy. At first glance, the destroyer looks less like a traditional naval vessel and more like something that sailed directly out of a science fiction movie. Its sleek, angular shape and unique tumble-home hull design immediately separate it from every other modern destroyer operating in the world's oceans today. Unlike conventional warships that rely on numerous protruding antennas, radars, and weapons systems mounted externally, the Zumwalt was designed with stealth as a primary objective, allowing it to dramatically reduce its radar signature and appear on enemy radar screens as a much smaller vessel, sometimes comparable in size to a fishing boat despite being over 600 feet long. The most striking feature of the USS Zumwalt is undoubtedly its stealth-focused design philosophy. Every angle, surface, and structure was carefully engineered to minimize radar reflections. The deckhouse rises from the hull with smooth, sloped surfaces instead of vertical walls, reducing the chances of enemy radar waves bouncing back toward hostile sensors. Infrared and acoustic signatures are also carefully managed, making the ship more difficult to detect using heat sensors or underwater listening equipment. This combination of low observability technologies gives the Zumwalt a significant advantage in contested waters where detection often determines survival. Measuring approximately 610 feet in length and displacing around 16,000 tons, the USS Zumwalt is significantly larger than the Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers that form the backbone of the U.S. Navy fleet. Despite its larger size, advanced automation systems allow the ship to operate with a surprisingly small crew of around 150 sailors, less than half the number required on many older destroyers. This reduction in crew size lowers operational costs while allowing more space for mission equipment and future technologies. Highly integrated computer systems handle many routine operations that previously required large teams of sailors, from machinery monitoring to damage control management. Powering this futuristic warship is one of the most sophisticated propulsion systems ever installed on a naval vessel. The integrated power system generates approximately 78 megawatts of electricity, enough to power a small city. Instead of traditional mechanical connections between engines and propellers, the Zumwalt uses electric motors driven by massive generators. This setup provides smoother operation, improved fuel efficiency, and incredible flexibility in power distribution. Perhaps more importantly, it prepares the ship for future energy-intensive weapons such as high-powered lasers and electromagnetic railguns that may become standard naval equipment in the coming decades. Performance at sea remains impressive despite the destroyer's large displacement. The USS Zumwalt can reach speeds exceeding 30 knots, or roughly 35 miles per hour, allowing it to rapidly reposition during combat operations or respond quickly to emerging threats. The advanced hull design also contributes to excellent seakeeping capabilities, enabling the vessel to operate effectively in rough ocean conditions where smaller ships may struggle. Reduced wave resistance improves fuel efficiency and extends operational range, allowing the destroyer to remain deployed for long periods far from friendly ports. At the heart of the Zumwalt's combat capabilities lies the Advanced Combat System, which integrates radar, sensors, communications, and weapons into a unified battlefield management network. The ship's radar suite provides long-range air and surface surveillance while simultaneously tracking multiple targets across vast areas of ocean and sky. Information gathered by the sensors is processed and displayed to operators in real time, giving commanders exceptional situational awareness and enabling rapid decision-making during high-intensity engagements. The destroyer's missile armament remains one of its greatest strengths. 80 peripheral vertical launch cells are distributed along the outer edges of the ship rather than concentrated in a central block. This unique arrangement improves survivability because damage to one section of the ship is less likely to disable a large portion of its missile inventory. These launch cells can carry a wide variety of weapons including standard missiles for air defense, Tomahawk cruise missiles for long-range land attack missions, anti-submarine rockets, and future hypersonic weapons currently under development by the United States military. One of the most discussed aspects of the USS Zumwalt program has been its gun system. Originally designed around the advanced gun system and long-range guided projectiles capable of striking targets over 60 miles away, changes in ammunition costs and operational requirements led the Navy to reconsider its role. By 2026, the Zumwalt has increasingly shifted toward becoming a platform for advanced missile warfare and hypersonic strike capabilities rather than relying primarily on naval artillery. This evolution demonstrates the flexibility built into the destroyer's design and highlights the Navy's commitment to adapting the ship for future conflicts. The anti-air warfare capabilities of the Zumwalt remain formidable. The ship can defend itself and nearby vessels against enemy aircraft, drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missile threats using sophisticated missile systems and advanced radar tracking technology. Modern naval combat increasingly depends on defeating high-speed airborne threats, and the Zumwalt's ability to engage multiple targets simultaneously provides an important layer of protection for carrier strike groups and allied naval formations operating nearby. Under the surface, the destroyer is equally capable. Sophisticated sonar systems allow the ship to detect and track submarines operating in deep or shallow waters. Anti-submarine rockets and torpedoes provide offensive options against underwater threats, while embarked helicopters dramatically extend the ship's search range. The USS Zumwalt includes facilities for operating MH-60 Seahawk helicopters and unmanned aerial vehicles, adding flexibility for reconnaissance, anti-submarine warfare, and search and rescue operations. These aviation assets transform the destroyer from a standalone warship into a multi-domain combat platform capable of influencing events far beyond the horizon. Life aboard the USS Zumwalt reflects the ship's modern philosophy. Automation reduces repetitive tasks and allows sailors to focus on mission-critical operations rather than routine maintenance. Crew accommodations are designed to improve quality of life during long deployments, with modern living spaces and digital systems supporting communication and operational planning. Touchscreen controls, integrated monitoring systems, and advanced damage control technologies create an environment that feels closer to a high-tech command center than a traditional warship. The destroyer also serves as a testbed for emerging technologies that may define future naval warfare. Directed energy weapons, advanced electronic warfare suites, artificial intelligence-assisted decision support systems, and next-generation missile technologies are all potential upgrades for the platform. Thanks to its enormous electrical generation capacity and modular design, the Zumwalt is better positioned than many older ships to integrate these technologies without requiring extensive redesigns or expensive modifications. Critics have often pointed to the high cost of the Zumwalt program, as only 3 ships of the class were ultimately built. However, supporters argue that the lessons learned from the program have influenced nearly every modern naval design that followed. Technologies pioneered on the Zumwalt, particularly in stealth shaping, automation, integrated power generation, and sensor fusion, continue to shape the future of surface warfare across multiple navies around the world. In many ways, the USS Zumwalt represents a bridge between traditional naval warfare and the fleet of the future. It combines the firepower of a heavily armed destroyer with the stealth characteristics of an advanced aircraft and the computing power of a modern data center. Whether operating independently in contested waters, supporting amphibious operations near hostile coastlines, or serving alongside aircraft carriers in major naval formations, the ship delivers capabilities that few other vessels can match. As naval warfare evolves to meet the challenges of hypersonic weapons, autonomous systems, and increasingly sophisticated enemy defenses, the USS Zumwalt DDG-1000 continues to demonstrate why innovation remains essential to maritime superiority. It may not resemble the destroyers of previous generations, but that is